Warning, the following video will contain spoilers for an episode of Miraculous Ladybug. If you want my recommendation, watch the episode I am watching before continuing on with this video. But if you don't care about spoilers, then just sit back and enjoy.
Roll! Hello everybody, welcome back to my Miraculous Marathon. And yes, I own a guitar and I kind of know how to play it. Though I'm a bit of a novice. I'm still learning the ropes. So last time on the Miraculous Marathon, we had a look at the Pixelator.
It was my least favorite episode of Season 1.
But as I said in my review of that episode, the only way I could recommend it is just so you could see what happens before this one. Because this episode actually picks up where the Pixelator left off. What exactly happens after that train wreck? Is it any better or is it worse? Well, let's find out as we have a look at Episode 21, Guitar Villain. Yes! This is what I wanted! Well, okay, I will admit that I saw this episode before Pixelator, but I don't care. I'm just happy to get a guitar solo! Not to mention, this solo is freaking killer! Seriously, they wanted you to know why this guy was Marinette's favorite rock artist, and they succeeded! Thank you, Guitar Villain! You're already off to a great start! Miraculous! And all that awesomeness is killed when Jagged Stone realizes he has a mouth and decides to use it to remind us of what show we're watching. I mean, is that necessary? I already get constant reminders of the show even when I'm not watching it! And it turns out that that was his first single off of his next album. Ooh, I want to see what he creates next! Whatever it is, I'm all in!
Let's talk about this duet with Mr. XY.
I'm all out! Yeah, his studio manager Bob Roth, voiced by Grant George, who may or may not be a reference to Canadian producer Bob Rock, who brought such classics as Madly in Anger with You! How could this happen to me? Oh dear God. Wants him to collaborate with his biggest rival in the music industry, XY. A pop star with a name that's so stupid it makes XXX Tentacion roll in his grave. Was that in poor taste? And is kind of like Justin Bieber, a possible teenage heartthrob with rude tendencies, and has a knack for making repetitive, catchy tunes. Give Justin Bieber some credit, at the very least he doesn't choose to have a hologram of himself perform at live shows, which unless you're a squid, a Vocaloid, or a member of Gorillaz, you should never do if you really care about your fans! Though Justin Bieber did have his bodyguards carry him across the Great Wall of China, and he allegedly spat on his fans, so all that meandering was basically pointless. Much better. Of course, Jagged Stone is understandably resentful of this decision because he doesn't see him as a true musician like himself. Glad to see a rock artist who wants to keep his artistic integrity, unlike some artists I know and love! But Bob insists on changing his style and modernizing his music so they don't risk a #2 spot on the charts. Even creating an album cover that basically looks like a perfume ad.
My album covers are raw to the bone, exuding the smell of sweat and leather.
I do not want to know what he does on his off time. Aside from giving his crocodile a bath. But he and Penny had an idea to have Marinette work on the album cover after being impressed with their glasses. I'm surprised he didn't take the Jared Leto route and have his fans create their own album covers. So Bob goes to Marinette and tells her to design Jagged Stone's album cover. Except...
This is the direction of his new image. More modern, current.
He gives Marinette his instructions and not Jagged's. Honestly, if this is the manager that Jagged Stone is working with, then he's better off flipping him off and leaving his record label. So Marinette works on it and understandably hates what Jagged Stone, or Bob, wants.
XY's music is so cold and lifeless, repetitive, mundane.
Imagine Dragon's origins in a nutshell. But Tiki tells her to go against his requests.
Jagged Stone wanted you because of your style.
And this is where we run into a problem with this episode. Because in Pixelator, Tiki tells Marinette,
it's better in the long run to do it right the first time. Just do it right the first time.
And now she's telling him to go against his wishes? I mean, yeah, they weren't Jagged Stone's instructions to begin with, but unless she somehow knows Bob Roth is lying to her, she can't just tell Marinette to listen to his instructions and then follow that up with, don't listen to his instructions! This is the sort of inconsistency that makes me steam! It's like having an album with a track that's dedicated to not giving up and holding on to whatever hope you have left, and then a few songs later we have a track that's dedicated to the joy of committing suicide! Oh wait. Still, Jagged Stone tells her to make a cover that would suit him, which is my cue to stop complaining about this issue and start complaining about another!
Why am I number one? Simple. This computer is programmed to produce music and lyrics people will like. It's guaranteed success.
Pre-2017 Nickelback in a nutshell. Well, with less computers. So XY trashes Jagged Stone during an interview, which really makes me wonder why Bob Roth would ever want to have these two working with each other. Oh, right. And Jagged Stone decides to vent by playing his guitar, leaving Hawkmoth a great opportunity to send an Akuma to make him his next minion.
Go find that Jagged Stone and rock his world!
And I'm sorry if this review is meandering a bit, but I have to talk about this part of the scene. Okay kids, it's time for a lesson on instruments and equipment. Be sure to take notes and remember to study because it will be on a test. Today we'll be talking about what exactly is wrong with this scene. And for this I need my guitar and change my attire as well as the camera angle, so excuse me one moment. Poof! There we go. Now normally electric guitars sound like this. You can barely hear a thing, which is why we have amplifiers to help things out. Not really give it that distinctive rock distortion that we know and love. Now the amplifier that I have does have a switch that changes this from a rhythm guitar to a lead guitar, which can give you that rock distortion, and you can adjust the settings on here, but typically rock bands have what is known as a distortion pedal, which can give you the same if not better results with just a push of a button. Of course, we never see a cord connected to a distortion pedal or an amp, but hey, they have wireless connectors for both of them. We don't see either one of them, though. I mean, sure, they could be built into the walls, but I don't think that the mayor would like that, seeing as it's a hotel and it would cost a lot of money. And you may have noticed that there were drums playing in the background during all of this. And we don't see a drummer. Now, there are such things as drum tracks, and you could record your own drum beat just to shred along to it, but it still required something to be pressed in order for it to play. That's not what he did. He picked up the guitar, and suddenly drums are playing. So allow me to ask, how does any of that work?
Because it's magic?
You're wrong, Ladybug, and because of that you're getting expelled, so give me the earrings and leave! Actually, speaking of which, where is Marinette during all of this?
Talking bag. New technology. Import from Japan.
Just acclimatize Jagged Stone already!
Guitar villain, I am Hawkmoth. I'm giving you and your vicious crocodile the power to show the whole world that you are the #1 rocker. Just make sure you get me Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous in return.
Yeah, let's rock!
So the Akuma possesses his guitar and turns him into holy pink dreadlocks, Batman! What the hell is that?! This is Guitar Villain. Where's the Guitar Hero? Oh, I get it now. And before anyone complains in the comments, yes, I am aware that a Guitar Hero is a title given to virtuous guitarists.
Moving on.
Oh, and the crocodile turns into a freaking dragon because why not? We have a pigeon man who's a bird brain, so why not outdo him in the weirdness department? We don't care if it's nonsensical and random. Look at these cats that I have that aren't even cats, even though I just said that they're freaking The things that the Miraculous team do to push my buttons. Honestly, I have nothing to say about this design. I think it speaks for itself. His powers aren't half bad, though. He can use his guitar riffs to blow people away, shake the earth, or give someone the compulsive need to... This right here is the stuff that makes an episode go from crap to legendary. You can't take this seriously. I mean, it's just impossible. And what makes things better, or worse depending on how you look at it, is it doesn't end here! Who dances like this at a rock concert? How come that car's dancing even though it wasn't hit? Boy, with these moves, you'll be married in no time. This totally isn't going to give the two severe whiplash and break their necks. Damn you, rock and roll!
Hey, Jagged, come on, why don't you try to rock my world?
Kitty, I don't think that Ladybug would approve of you telling Jagged Stone to rock your world. And here I thought Ladybug was inconsiderate. Also, Michael Jackson's the king of pop, not the king of rock! Speaking of the devil herself, Marinette sees Fang in Guitar Villain causing chaos. So when's her transformation sequence here, she saves Cat Noir and throws him towards Fang. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen! Okay, to be fair, it's to pry Fang's mouth open, though this accomplishes jack freaking squat!
You're wasting my time.
He took the words right out of my mouth. So Jagged Stone finds XY, but it turns out to be the hologram I brought up earlier. But thanks to Theo, he finds out that XY is in a TV studio. So Ladybug calls Kids Plus TV to have XY evacuate and get to safety.
So what's this guitar villain gonna do? Blow me away with his evil guitar solo?
Awesome solo!
Yeah. But he can also compel your just get him already!
Thanks.
So Jagged brings... I'm sorry, I'll regain my composure. So Jagged brings him up to the Eiffel Tower and tells him he has something special planned.
Something with a little rock and roll!
You'll be forced to listen to an entire Limp Bizkit album. Forever. Okay, I apologize for that accent. No, instead he ties him up and forces him to walk the plank. Might as well call him Captain Hard Rock. Oh wait, that's already an episode. And while the duo scales the Eiffel Tower, it's here where we find out that Ladybug's string can break? Wait, what? Didn't Animan establish that Ladybug's yo-yo string was unbreakable?
But it's unbreakable.
It's somehow not broken and she got it back?
Enough already. We've got a stuck kitty to rescue.
And she came bang and made it say That's bad. So Ladybug has Fang get stuck in the tower. So much for the bug liking the dragon. And then she uses her lucky charm, and what does she summon this time?
Extreme fixing gel?
Sorry, it was just, that was so ridiculous that I forgot my line. What was it? Okay. Hairspray, a rock star's worst enemy. It could make you look like a Dragon Ball Z character, or nothing at all because you can't freaking see. And wouldn't you know, that's exactly what happens to poor Mr. Stone when Ladybug uses it against him. Ladybug unfortunately saves XY and uses him to break the guitar, releasing the Akuma. Insert status Koyo scene here, turn everything back to normal, and then fist bump.
Found it!
Another day, another attack, another victory for the Miraculous Duo, and another 100 hours of therapy I need after this. So Cat Noir gets an autograph from Mr. Stone, Ladybug says she still has work to do, no one questions what she's talking about, and Marinette makes an album cover in Jagged Stone's honor. Even going as far to make it smell like sweat and leather.
I concocted a special scented sticker for your album.
Do I even want to ask how she managed to concoct a special scent similar to sweat and leather? Then Jagged Stone basically does what I said he should do, telling Bob to get stuff and hoping a new record label could afford a #2 album. However, Jagged Stone's Rock Giant actually tops the charts, so yeah, Bob should have listened to Jagged. And the episode ends with Spider-Mary signing Adrian's copy of Rock Giant, accomplishing a life goal she never knew she had, and angering Chloe in the process. Oh yeah, Chloe was in this episode. I just forgot to mention her because she really has no reason to be here other than be one of XY's fans and tell us that she not only has a bad taste in fashion, but a bad taste in music. I would complain about how pointless she is, but whatever. The episode's over and I couldn't be any more happy. So that was Guitar Villain. How does it hold up? Pretty poorly. Yeah, it's just plain awful. But that doesn't mean it's not a fun kind of awful. The story is stupid, the villain is stupid, the dialogue was stupid. Well, that one line was stupid. The Crocodile Dragon was a whole new level of stupid. Basically everything is stupid. On top of that, we have some inconsistencies that bother the crap out of me and make me feel like the writers thought they could do whatever they want. And another thing I have to bring up is Lex Lang's performance as Jagged Stone. And I'm not sure how to properly describe it. I mean, it's not awful, it suits the character well, but something about it just seems off to me. Whatever the case, this episode's just a giant mess. But good God, is it entertaining! There were plenty of things I enjoyed here, like how it portrayed the rebellious rock star who wants to do what they want to do for the passion and love of music, executives who want artists to sell out to land a spot on the charts, and pop stars who don't have any artistic integrity and just want to be famous. And despite the aforementioned performance from Lex Lang, I still enjoy Jagged Stone and do at least sympathize with him. And there are so many funny moments that made this episode much better than the episode that precedes it. If we're being technical here, yeah, this might be the worst episode of Season 1, but honestly, it's so hilarious with how awful it is that I can't help but recommend it to those who want some cornball fun. I mean, how could you not love an episode with a crocodile dragon, a rock star villain with pink dreadlocks who for some reason loves the scent of sweat and leather, and of course a display of animation. and a display of animation that looks like this. And a display of... Oh my god, I can't do this. It's starting to get together, Chris Oliver. Okay. I think I'm calm now. Whew. And of course, a display of animation that looks like next up is Princess Frankfurt's. I'll see you guys later. Oh my god, I can't even do this anymore. Wait! This is Guitar Villain. If we're going to end this episode review, we gotta do it right.
It's my awesome solo! Rock and roll!
I've got nothing.